Baseball has changed in many ways. One way is the average major league ball player makes north of $2 million, the average ball player. How has that changed the sport? Are they different than those in the 40s and 50s and 60s that we remember? Maury, I'd like you to talk about that as well, because they're paid quite well now.
Yeah, and I'll be brief. This is the thing I love about this book is that you could never write this book today. This book could never be replicated. I couldn't go back and write about. I covered the Dodgers for 5 years, from 1989 to 1992, and I couldn't go back to those days and write this kind of book, because when I covered them, I didn't have the access that Roger did. Roger was at their houses. They went out together. Today's players, the money, there's so much money. And again, I will say, of all the athletes, baseball players deserve to be. I know people say, oh, their job's so easy. You know, a pitcher works once every 5 days. But these guys were in the minor leagues for 4 and 5 and 6 years. So they've a lot of these guys have really worked many years for this money, as opposed to an NBA and NFL players coming out of college. So a lot of these guys, but the money's so big now, it insulates them, and they don't really feel like they need to even, you know, they don't feel like they need the media. They don't really need us as much anymore. So they'll talk to us just because they don't want to be, especially the LA Times, because we're the conscience of this city, and they don't want their friends and neighbors to think they're a jerk. So they'll talk to the LA Times, but they don't really need the media. And a lot of them now, even they have their own websites. The Dodgers have their own website. So with social media, they go through there. So that's changed a lot, and that's taken away some of the charm of the game. This book is so charming, right, because of all the inside stuff he got with these guys, just regular guys. I think a lot of players today are regular guys, but we're just never going to know it, because the money's put up such a wall between them.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Maury, why don't you comment on that? Because you played in an era where ball players did not make $2 million, average ball players $2 million a year. And more than $500.
That's true. And I'll just give you an example. 1962, I was the MVP in the league. We beat the Yankees in the World Series.
All-Star Game MVP too, right?
Yeah. That's right, Bill. All-Star Game MVP. I played in 165 consecutive games. Every inning of 165. You only play 162. And now, but I was the MVP in the league, and also I was the #1 professional athlete in the world that year, all sports. I beat Arnold Palmer by 1 vote. Yeah. And every time I see Arnold Palmer, he lets me know that he should have won that. I said, come on, you got to get over it, man. It's been too long. So anyway, during the winter, I said, I got him now. Talking about the Dodger front office and get me a little raise, you know. All I wanted was to get my wife a new car, maybe a Ford station wagon. That's all. You know, and just a little raise. So I went in there as the MVP in the National League, MVP in the All-Star Game, the #1 professional athlete in the world. I knew I'm going to get a raise. And I came out of there in 10 minutes, happy I was still on the team. Yeah. They gave me $5,000 and told me I better not tell anybody. I said, well, heck, I don't want anybody to know. That's all I got.